Hello, my name is Valeria Rookebert, and I'm the dietetic intern for Houston Family Nutrition. Today we're going to be talking about the ABCs of nutrition. So let's start by defining nutrition. So what is nutrition? The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics do state that nutrition is how food affects the health of our body. So food, when we think about food, food can provide two things. Food can provide energy and it provides nutrients, correct? So energy is measured in calories and the nutrients that food provides are carbohydrates, fats, protein, vitamins, minerals, and water. So we need these nutrients because they give us structure and they allow our body to function. The first nutrient we're going to be talking about is carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are composed of two types of sugars, simple sugars and complex sugars. Simple sugars are composed of monosaccharides and disaccharides. These sugars are broken down by our body fairly quickly, meaning that we're going to be hungry faster. These simple sugars can be found in sweeteners, breakfast cereals, some fruits and vegetables, candy, and honey. So when we think about complex sugars, these are composed of polysaccharides. Our bodies take a longer period of time to break down these sugars, which helps us feel fuller for a longer period of time. These types of sugars can be found in grains, in wheats, in beans, and in some fruits and vegetables like bananas and squash. A type of carbohydrate very important to mention is fiber. So fiber is very unique and you'll see why. There are two types of fiber, soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. So soluble fiber can attract water and turn to gel during digestion, which will actually slow it down, making us feel fuller for a longer period of time. Then we also have insoluble fiber, which actually does not attract water and it goes by through the GI tract kind of intact, meaning our body can't break it down, meaning that it doesn't provide any calories. It is actually proactive in initiating bowel movements. Fiber is very important and we should consume it every day in our diet. So how do we find fiber? Usually fiber is found in the skins of fruits and veggies, legumes, beans, and whole grains. I do want to give a few examples. Aside from where you can find it, it is very important that when we think of a way to increase our fiber consumption is looking for foods that are less processed. So the less processed, the more fiber the food item will have. An example I want to give is with apple. You can consume an apple as a whole, you can consume applesauce, and you can consume apple juice. So let's go through all these three items. So an apple, a medium apple with the peel, will contain 4.4 grams of fiber. The applesauce will contain 1.4 grams of fiber, and the apple juice actually contains 0 fiber. So it's always very important to look for foods that are not processed or less processed. It will have more fiber. Well, that was a lot of information regarding carbohydrates. But why do we need them? Why are they important? Well, they're important because carbohydrates provide us with energy. Energy that we need to go on our day. Energy that we need to sit, to run, to breathe, to stand, to be active and teach our students. So it is very important to always include your carbohydrates in every meal. The next nutrient we're going to be talking about is fats. So fats are made of many triglycerides. There are three types of fats we're going to talk about today. So we have saturated fats, unsaturated fats, and trans fats. So saturated fats are fats that contribute to the body making more LDL or bad cholesterol. These fats are found in fatty animal products such as milk, fatty beef cuts, butter, and palm oils. The next are the unsaturated fats, which are also known as the healthier fats. These are also monounsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. These fats contribute to the body making more HDL, which is also known as good cholesterol. These are found in avocados, in nuts, and in sunflower seeds. The last fat is trans fat. So these are actually modified through a process called hydrogenation. So these fats are usually used as a form to preserve food to last longer and avoid rancidity. So we want to look for trans fat because these fats are genetically synthetic and they can increase heart problems by increasing the bad cholesterols. So as mentioned in the previous slide, we are going to touch on what those HDL, good cholesterols, and LDL, bad cholesterol means. So let's start with cholesterol. There are two types of cholesterol. We have serum cholesterol, which is known as blood cholesterol. So our body makes most of this. Then we also have dietary cholesterol, which is found in animal-based food products such as meat, cheese, eggs, and milk. So what is that about? Good cholesterol, bad cholesterol, HDL, and LDL. So let's start with good cholesterol. Good cholesterol is also known as HDL. What is HDL? So HDL stands for high density lipoproteins. So why are they called good cholesterol, you might ask? Well, simple. HDLs are made in the liver. And so these are made in the liver. So our bodies, they help carry cholesterol from body cells to the liver where they are broken down and eliminated. That's why they're called good cholesterol. So bad cholesterols are also called LDL, which stands for low density lipoproteins. But why are these bad? Well, these are also made in the liver, but what they do is that they carry cholesterol from the liver to body cells, and these can lead to arterial plaques or other diseases. So that's why they are considered bad. So, are fats important? Are fats bad? Do I need fats? Well, yeah, we all need fats. Fats are really important and they're great. They contribute to every cell in our body, including our brain and our nervous tissue. They help absorb vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, and K, and we can't live without vitamins in our body. They also help with fat storage and supply us with energy. Lastly, they also protect our organs from damage. So look at your hands. The palm of your hands, they all have fat. So let's say we fall or hit something, our fat is protecting us. So it is very important that we consume fat in our diets. The next nutrient we're going to be talking about is protein. So protein, what is protein? Protein is made of amino acids, actually 20 different amino acids. So what is an amino acid? So amino acids are building blocks that help grow and maintain our body tissues. So 9 of those 20 amino acids are essential. What does that mean? It means that we get it from our diet. So let's see where we can find them. So there are different ways to incorporate protein into our diets. It could be through animal source or it could be through plant source. If someone is vegetarian, they can still get their adequate amount of protein intake. So through animal source, we have turkey, chicken breast, deer, and fish. For plant source, a great one is chia seeds, hemp seeds, soybeans, and then a good combination of plant and dried beans will contain all essential amino acids. So again, why do we need protein? So protein helps repair muscle, it helps grow muscle, it helps regulate body hormones and enzymes, it generates red blood cells, and it helps proper functioning of antibodies that resist infection. Another nutrient that we just need to include into our diets every day. So moving on to vitamins and minerals. So I really like this representation. It's just to keep a visual. So vitamins and minerals. So what are vitamins? So vitamins are organic substances made by plants and animals. So a few examples are vitamin A, D, C, vitamin E. So vitamins can be provided by foods or our bodies can make them. Okay, so moving on to minerals. So Minerals. What are minerals? Minerals are actually inorganic substances that are not made by living things. So they are found naturally in the soil and water, and they are absorbed by the plants, or they're eaten by humans and animals. So that's just a cool visual. A few examples of minerals are iron, calcium, and potassium. So where can we find vitamins and minerals? So we can find them in the beans, in dairy products, in eggs, in fruits and veggies, in whole grains, and in seafood. So what do they do? Why do we need vitamins and minerals? Well, vitamins and minerals help our body use other nutrients like the ones we already mentioned, like carbs, fat, and protein. They aid in wound healing, in energy production, immunity, eye and skin health. They help maintain cardiovascular health and provide structure to the skeleton, and in bone formation. The last but not least, which is very important, is water. Curious, water makes more than half of our body weight. Water is so important. We need our body to survive and function properly. So it helps regulate body temperature, it aids digestion and gets rid of waste, and it carries oxygen to all the cells of our body. But most importantly, and I know I already mentioned it, we need water to survive. So I decided to talk about a few questions that come up when we discuss water. The first one is, and the most common is, how much water should I drink? So the consumption of water kind of varies from person to person. It's kind of based on several factors, which include exercise, the environment the person lives in, and overall health. So in general, you hear, oh, 8 glasses of water per day. Well, this is kind of like a general guideline, and it's because 8 is something that everyone knows and it's easy to remember, and it's a reasonable goal. But that just doesn't mean that everyone should have. Some people should have more. It kind of just depends. So the next question is, where can I find water? So you can actually find water in fruits and vegetables. So a lot of people don't like water, which they still should try to consume it, and we'll talk about ways to increase it next. But just know that when you're consuming a fruit or vegetable, you're also consuming some water there. Few examples are watermelon, spinach, peaches, milk, juice, and teas. These all contain water. But like I said and mentioned, the best and very best way is through plain water. It's inexpensive, calorie-free, and usually it's very available. The last question is how to increase water consumption. So, how do we increase water consumption? My recommendation is try to make it fun. Get yourself a water bottle. That would be my first advice. The next one is infuse it with fruits. I think it's really cool when we add some blueberries to our water and you see a change in color. It just makes it more interesting, especially if there's kids that you want to help increase water consumption. And then another one that I like to apply myself is I like to fruit ice cubes. So you would collect fruit and put them in a cube maker. So they're like ice cubes. So you have fruit ice cubes with your water, and it's different. It's something more interesting. So to wrap it up, before we're done, I'm going to talk a little bit about digestion, and it's really quick. So when we consume something, any type of food, it has the option of going into the triglyceride side or the TCA cycle, which for today's purpose, it's going to be called the energy cycle. So it is important to point out that the energy cycle, also known as the TCA cycle, works with nutrients. So it needs carbohydrates, fats, protein, vitamin, minerals, and water to function. So what happens if we don't consume foods that have those nutrients? Well, if we don't consume those nutrients, the TCA cycle, or for today called the energy cycle, does not work. So the only other option is for the food to go into the side of a triglyceride, which will then be stored as fat. So just to finalize and close up, I want to show a picture of what would be an ideal situation to consume during breakfast, lunch and dinner is to have a plate that looks kind of like this. It is very important to consume our nutrients like explained on the previous diagrams. So carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are important nutrients that our body needs. And we don't want to eliminate our body. We don't want to eliminate one of those nutrients and only offer our body two or three. We want to offer everything. We want to give all the nutrients, starting like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, and water. We want to offer everything for our body. To end up, I do want to say we are given one body, and this is the body that we have. So it is in our ability to make the best out of it, to offer it the best. I hope this was educational and that you learned and took something today. Thank you so much for your time.